Disclaimer: I do not own the clips or music shown. These are used for review and entertainment purposes. Thank you.
All the slammin' shorties in the house say yeah.
Greetings, guy pals and gal pals. I am the real, actual Optimus Prime, on the channel you may call Channel Camden.
Transformers: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Transformers: Rise of the Beast is the newest released Transformers movie, and the second installment in the new series of Transformers movies after Bumblebee, being a reboot of the franchise after Michael Bay's take on this universe, as it follows Anthony Ramos and a few newer faces as they meet with the Autobots and Maximals coming to the big screen for the first time. It wasn't the first time I talked about the robots in disguise, as I talked about literally every other live action Transformers movie known to man. Like please watch these videos, please. Those were a true masterpiece of videos. So the movie released, and a lot of people like it, some don't, but then again, it's the majority that matters. And today, I'm gonna talk about it. Now let's jump right into it, shall we? Or Optimus Prime would say, let's roll out. Of course, we gotta start by talking about the characters. And first, let me get into the humans of the movie. We have Noah, played by Anthony Ramos, and he has a genuine motivation here. Also has a pretty interesting arc, and it doesn't feel basic. It's not like the most original thing in the world, but it's something the audience can connect to, and something that they could nod their heads and understand this character. It's nice that in this movie that it's going to be weird that I say this, that people in this movie talk and act like people. Like between this and Bumblebee, like they talk and act like people, and not like they're not over the top or dialed up to 11 as in a typical Michael Bay style. Like they talk normal. They have over the top moments, but it's not like Michael Bay over the top. Of course, we still can't forget about the greatest fictional character of all time, which is Sam Witwicky, which is a true one of the greatest fictional characters ever created.
I miss Sam. He was a nice kid.
Played by Anthony Ramos. Like throughout the movie, he's trying to find something. He's down on his luck. He just wants to do just something so he can help provide for his family. And when Autobots calls for him, he helps them out and wants to protect not just his family, but the entire world. And Optimus and Noah have a bit of a connection in this movie that I'll get to later. And it's like in the first like 15 minutes or so, like when it's about him, you don't get annoyed and be like, where the Transformers at already? Like you could sit back because he interests you at least, but it's not too long before our heroes show up. And we also have Dominic Fishback's character, Alina, and she's pretty cool as well. The museum, and she's trying to find a calling as well. And when the Autobot shows up, she's right there with. Overall, the human characters were nice in this movie. They felt understandable and somewhat relatable to some people. And they don't feel like caricatures. They're not like racist stereotypes, or they're not like just loud, obnoxious characters just spewing out juvenile and sophomore humor. They're characters you can sit down and you can understand, and you're entertained by them, even without the robotic war aliens. Speaking of humans, they reference Marky Mark in the movie. Not the character that he played in the other movies, but they reference the actor in the movie. There's and it was two characters talking, and I was just like, yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing when they put that scene in, and when they wrote that in, they knew exactly what they were doing. And then, of course, we got to cut to our robots in disguise themselves.
Si Optimus Prime.
First time since the first movie where a team of Autobots felt like differing characters that were really colorful and something the audience could look at and be like, he's kind of cool. I think that's my favorite Autobot. They feel like childhood heroes come to life, kind of like the first movie, and it's like very magical, like, to see them. Well, then again, you're kind of used to it now because this is like the 7th movie, but it's still cool to see them. It felt like their G1 versions came to life. I mean, of course, I would know how the Autobots should be represented because, you know, I'm a good friend of those Autobots. He was cool. Mirage, played by Pete Davidson, was pretty cool as well. I enjoyed his character. And Bumblebee, don't expect him to be in this movie as much as you may think he is. He's still in the movie and he has some cool scenes, but there's a point in the movie, which I won't spoil, which he stepped out for a little bit. He comes back later, but he there's a point in the movie where he's gone for a second. So this guy Wheeljack is in the movie, but don't expect him to be as important as the other ones.
We have Optimus Prime, played by Peter Cullen.
And Optimus in this movie, he's cool. The Autobots get more screen time in this movie. They don't feel like sidelined characters or just action figures. So when you have an action scene, you're like, oh wait, let me bring them. Hold on, here, fight. So Optimus, he has an arc in this movie, and that's the point where him and Noah kind of connect with each other because there's something that they have in common. There are times in the movie where he's a little grumpy. Point in the movie where Optimus is just,
I want to go home, man. I just want to go home. Can I please just go back to Cybertron? Please. These humans, I can't stand them. I'm tired. I'm sick of it. I'm gone, man. I'm tired of them.
And of course, it's Optimus Prime. He has some cool scenes in this movie where it's him transforming or fighting some bad guys. He is just awesome because he's Optimus Prime. How can you not love him? What I love is that for the press and the interviews, they seem to respect Peter Cullen a lot. Even more than the other movies did before. They show true love and care for the Transformers lore and Peter Cullen, a true legend in this franchise and a legend in the voice acting world in general. And I can tell that Peter Cullen truly enjoyed playing Optimus in this movie. You can see the smile on his face in all the interviews and everything. He truly deserves, man. Like, because he's Optimus Prime. Like, he is Optimus Prime. And you just gotta show him some love.
This Peter guy sounds kind of cool. Hope I get to meet him someday.
We get introduced to the Maximals from the Beast Wars part of the Transformers lore. And it's nice seeing them in live action, I gotta say. And we have Optimus Prime, played by Ron Perlman. And some people thought he was a villain before the movie came out. But I enjoyed Ron Perlman as Optimus Prime. He was pretty cool as a character. And some of the other Maximals, they were cool, but some of them, like Cheetor or Ronox, they don't speak as much as like the Autobots or some of the other Maximals. Some of them are just like they're cool, but they're like they don't do as much, and I think that's due to the runtime. The movie is 1 hour and like 50 minutes. Yeah. And as you can see, I am interviewing Optimus Primal right now. Hey, Optimus Primal, how are you doing, sir? That's very good to know. Mm-hmm.
No.
And then there's the story in this movie. And like I said, Optimus and Noah's Arks, that was unintended. They come into play in this movie. And the plot and like the missions they go on are not completely original. Like as for movies and Transformers movies, because like there were some points where I was like, I've seen this in another one of these movies. Like they gotta look for another thing. They gotta look for another MacGuffin thing that will destroy a planet or destroy something. They gotta look for it before the bad guys do. Like they don't outright copy and paste plots of other movies, but it's just like little things, like just smaller things that are in the movie. I'm like, I've seen this in another one of the movies. I have. It's not really just movies, like in Transformers. It's like movies in general, because I mean, a lot of movies have MacGuffins and like some of the other like little things in the movie as well. In this movie, they don't fight Megatron, they fight Scourge and the Predacons. Scourge is played by Peter Dinklage, and Pete. How many Petes are in this movie? We got Pete, and Pete. He gives a good performance, and Scourge is a pretty cool villain, and I was entertained, and I was quite intimidated at some points. Like him, he's a little bit like Lockdown from the Force movie, but a new spin at the same time. And we also, in the trailers, we get to see Unicron is in the movie, but he's not there like too much. Like you see him a little bit, but I think they might be like hinting for him for like a sequel, if they like for another Transformers movie they might do someday. I mean, basically he's like the Transformers version of Galactus. I'm gonna be honest. They might have him as their Thanos for this series, possibly, but of course with Transformers movies there's action, and the action is pretty cool in this movie. It's fun to see them and at some point in the movie a certain music cue plays in this movie that is in the other movies, and I had the biggest smile and when it played there. It was spoil movies when they've just come out most of the time. So here's a clip show, or like things out of context that would basically sum up the movie. Those who have seen it will understand these. Some who hasn't will be completely clueless and think that none of these make sense.
Okay.
That explains you. And you guys, I have no idea where you came from.
Right.
You and I aren't so different.
Oh no! Bro, what are you doing? You were my best friend.
Nick Fury, director of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'm here to talk to you about the Avenger Initiative.
Transformers Rise of the Beast was a pretty fun movie. And if you're going in expecting a world-changing experience, I don't know what to tell you. And expecting a pretty fun action movie, starring heroes from your childhood, then you won't be left disappointed. It feels like, sort of like a animated show come to life. Also feels like a normal movie that you could sit down and understand. It's loud, but not too loud. It's pretty emotional, but not too emotional. The characters are pretty neat, and a lot of people can identify with them. I feel like general audiences and longtime fans of this franchise are gonna both enjoy this movie, especially the fans, because it seems like the directors and all the people behind this movie truly have like a true passion and love for this franchise. You can tell by the way the movie looks and how the characters are designed and the way they talk and how the plot is written. Like, come on, Transformers must work with humans to stop the evil of Scourge and Unicron from destroying Earth. I mean, come on, that sounds straight out of a plot from like a cartoon episode. It's cool. Would I recommend it? Absolutely. Go check it out. I think you're gonna have a pretty fun time. And I mentioned earlier about my retrospective on the other movies, but if you're too lazy to watch those videos, which I'm very disappointed in what you've become if you don't watch those, here's basically I feel a sum up of how I feel about the other movies. Also, I like to point out that there was a Sonic reference in the movie. I don't know, I just wanted to point that out. 8 donuts. But yeah, the movie's pretty fun, and it's like a fun watch, and it's also kind of rewatchable as well. When you get it on digital or DVD, you can just turn it on and just watch. Though, as I feel the runtime was a little too short, as like some things need to be stretched out just a little bit. Didn't need to be too long, but just a little bit longer. Wish, like, in some shots of the movie, the cinematography could have been a little bit better. It didn't look awful, but it looked a little, like, some things needed to be worked on, like, there at some points. I say, overall, the characters are pretty cool, has nice action scenes, and I say, go check it out if you like to see it.
Go check out Channel Camden. Like, comment, not a mean comment, subscribe, and roll out. If you don't, I will hunt you.